P Kimi, keep it real. You know I always try to keep it real. Today we have a crazy one for you guys. We got influencer that turned into a murderer. It's not funny though. It's real serious, man. We're gonna be talking about Ash Armand today. How he killed somebody. His whole career went down the drain over this one incident. Let's get into it. So so Ash Armand, when he first started, he was known to be a real caring guy, like super nice, just a loving big teddy bear, if you would say. And then he started working for Cowboys for Angels. And they found him on Model Mayhem. His manager, Garen James, which he has a lot to do with the story too, as well. He started working on there. That kind of like boosted his career up more. And he started working on Gigolos. There was a reality TV show on Showtime. I mean, the ratings was out of this world. Soon as he went on there, the ladies loved him. His social media presence took off, went through the roof. And this is around the same time, like 2012, when social media just started. So in the beginning of the year, social media had 10 million followers. By the end of 2012, social media went to 100 million followers. So you could just imagine the type of fame and glamour and glitz that he got from this world renowned stage, being on Showtime, a reality show that's doing great in ratings. Social media just picked up. I mean, he making Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all these type of things, and it's blowing up. And then around this time, he starts dating Tushi Cash. Tushi Cash. Woo! What a baddie. I mean, she is bad, boy. So he started dating Tushi Cash, and this is when his life just changed dramatically. He's going on. So let me run it back for you. Tushi Cash was very known around Las Vegas. I mean, she had like million followers, big influencer. She was like a celebrity in Las Vegas. And Ash Armand and her, when they locked up, it was like a power couple. His stardom rose to the highest of ranks, and hers was already high. But instead of being a CB list celebrity from Instagram, she kind of drifted her way into like that A round. She was like known internationally, everything, but she was known for dating escorts. So Asher Armand was an escort. He was on Gigolos. He was on Cowboys for Angels. They found him on a modeling agency. So he was like a sex symbol. So when these two dated, it was out of this world. Crazy. They dated for about 2 years. After that, things got a little tricky. So they dated for about 2 years. Like I said in the beginning, Ash was a very kind, nice guy. But then when he got all this glitz and glamour and fame, and mind you, he's in Las Vegas, so he starts doing a little bit of drugs, coke, shrooms, weed, drinking liquor. The fame kind of gets to his head. And she was the top person because she already had her following was way bigger than his, and she was already a big name, and she was famous way longer than him. So she kind of was leading the pack in the relationship. But the dynamics kind of changed once Ash got his fame, dealing with Tushi Kash. So after this, it was this when everything went left. So there was a photo shoot with their manager, Garen, and he had a photo shoot with two girls, and he had like put the whole photo shoot together, taking pictures, buying cameramen, setting them out, picking outfits out, the whole 9 yards. And it was a party after that. They went to go talk. Gary went to a party. He see Ash Armand. He was talking to him like, "Yo, bro, check these pictures out. Yo, the photo shoot was crazy." And he was like, "You did a?" Ash asked him like, "You did a photo shoot with Tushi?" And he was like, yeah, we did a photo shoot, regular things. They said Ash turned red, like his whole face went white and red, like the blood just drained out of him, and he stormed out of there. and he went to go see Tushi. After he went to go see Tushi Cash, he was just enraged, telling her how much he was mad at her. She shouldn't be around no other guys, and how he was going to kill Garen, their manager, and the text messages was just out of this world and in person. So after this, Tushi Cash was like, yo, what's going on? Like, you're bugging right now. Like, first of all, like, I'm the one that got you here. Like, when they started dating, she took him on so many lavish trips, paid for so much stuff. Because, mind you, yeah, he was on shows and getting his fame going, but he wasn't making as much money as her. She was already well established. So he starts going crazy on her. And she had to, like, kind of check him. But at the end of the day, she was not with that. She ended up cutting it off with him. And when she cut it off with him, his whole world like collapsed around him. He's sending paragraphs after paragraphs of messages telling her how much he loves her, how he want to be with her, just all this crazy stuff. I mean, bro, let it go. But anyway, I mean, we all been there, heartbroken and chasing a girl or a guy, so I understand how it is. So after they break up, she's like a year later, 2 years, a year later, she starts dating another escort. Yeah, she's known for dating escorts. She's a pretty girl, but I guess she likes handsome, buff guys that's well experienced, if you know what I mean. But she starts dating another escort. His name was Rex. And I mean, he's like total, complete opposite from Ash. Ash is Indian and American, long, luxurious hair. This guy's, Ash is about 6 feet. This guy, Rex, is about 6'4", blue eye, white American, military cop, diesel type dude. So once Ash Armand finds out that she's dating Rex, he starts sending Rex all type of threatening text messages talking about how he gonna kill him, he gonna do this to him. And Tushi Kash is just like, yo, this dude is bugging. She's like texting all her friends, all the local friends that they know. She's texting Garen, the manager, like, yo, why is he texting Rex? Why is he still texting me? The relationship is over. He needs to move on. This guy is going insane. I can't deal with this no more. He's Indian and American, and Ash grew up in Japan. So, you know, his whole culture and the way he looks at life is a lot different from how us Americans or just anybody in the world. When you grow up in different societies, you look at the world different through a whole new lens. All right, and around the time that Rex had like, and around the time that Tushi Cash started dating Rex, so Gigolo's show had got canceled. I guess the ratings were going down. So Ash Armand's life is like literally falling apart. He lost Tushi Cash. She's dating another guy. His show that was making him so famous and popular on TV just got canceled. Then he starts partying more, going out to clubs. Because mind you, he's already lit and popular. So he's getting into these clubs for free. You know, he's getting VIP, free bottle service, free entry, everything. So now he's going out to all these clubs. He's doing way more drugs than he was before. Like, before he was dibbling and dabbling. Now he's doing drugs to cope with the pain. He's doing coke. He's doing mushrooms. He's out drinking every day. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, he started taking steroids too. This guy's going nuts, bro. He's taking steroids. So this is like a cocktail of destruction. You're on coke, shrooms, liquor, steroids. Everybody know that steroids already make you aggressive and just mad, and like you got so much masculinity in you. It's just like, it's like you want to explode. So mind you, all this is going on in his world right now. Then he stops going to work. He starts turning down clients, not picking up the phone. So guess what happens next? He gets fired from his job. The agency fires him. So now he doesn't have to show his main income. He doesn't have his job. His people on Instagram are starting to click and write comments because he's at this point, he's looking so huge off the steroids that females are like, you're like, I wish you went back to the way you looked before. You're like huge now. It's kind of gross and disgusting. So his whole mindset was going crazy. And mind you, the whole reason why he was on the steroids because he was trying to compete with like younger men, because he's on the back end of his 30s at this point. So he's trying to compete with younger men. He's trying to stay in the game. You know, being a celebrity at this height and this level is really, really hard. So he's trying to stay in the game. But mind you, while he's trying to stay in the game, his whole world is falling apart. He gets fired from his company. He tried to start his own agency, but that doesn't really go too far. So all that happens around 2014. He tries to reinvent himself, like a whole Zen type of thing, like a calming therapy. He's like he wants to be like a healer and a Zen teacher and just give love and rebirth to the world. And we're talking about a guy that's like off his nuts. He's off his rocker. He's a few screws loose from a light bulb. I mean, he's a couple cans short from a six pack. So it's getting real right now. But he's trying to reinvent himself. I mean, there's nothing wrong with people trying to change. You could change at any age, at any point in your life. You could make a 360, 180. You could do whatever you got to do to make yourself a better person. And I guess that's what he was trying to do. I don't know if it was a gimmick or this was like real things he was trying to change because he had a lot of darkness in him from all his trauma in his life. And mind you, he's flushing all the trauma down with drugs, so it's just getting out of hand at this point. So I guess this is where he says, you know what, I need to make a change, and he starts trying to become a healer. After that, he starts dating Tia Evans, Tucci Cash friend. I want to say best friend, but really close friend. So supposedly she already liked him. He was already like a handsome guy, as you guys know, and but she knew he was off limits because she was her friend's boyfriend. But as soon as they broke up, I mean, let the fireworks and sparks begin. They started talking to each other. He took her on a date, kissed her in front of everybody. I kind of felt like he did that so people could go back and tell Tucci Cash, like, yo, you see Ash Armand, he was with Tia Evans and they kissed and da-da-da. I feel like that's why he did that. But I mean, she loved it all. She was loving the attention, how he was treating her. And he was already like a masseuse. He used to massage people during his gigolo stuff and working inside this type of massage world. So he's giving her massages. He's bringing her tea every morning. He's just treating her like a straight up queen. He's basically like love bombing her to death at this point. Then after they start dating, guess what? What's next? They just move in together. They're like totally in love. And he starts taking Reiki, practicing Reiki. He's taking shrooms like every day. I'm talking about high doses. He's saying he having dreams and visions about being a healer and that these shrooms could like reconnect certain things in his brain that he needed to feel like he could do this and accomplish these goals that he have. And he felt like this is what he needed to do. So after all that, around May 2020, he meets Herlene Dooley. She's around 26 years old. Like I said, Ash is on the back end of his 30s. So the way they meet each other, she books a massage from Ash. Like I said, he was a massage therapist. He was so-called amazing with his hands. So he was a massage therapist. She ended up booking a massage from Ash. And, you know, a little background story on her. She was a big girl. She lost weight. She kind of moved to Vegas to run from her problems. She had a lot of problems back where she was at. She was a big girl. I guess she wasn't popular. And so imagine a girl like this, right? Not really popular, got a lot of past trauma and problems, was a really heavy girl, lost the weight, and a guy like Ash Armand is responding to your messages, saying, yeah, I'll come over and massage you. Of course, she paid a fee, but he's like, yeah, I'll come over and massage you. This must have blew her mind. Like that's like Chris Brown hitting up a regular girl or Drake DMing like a norm chick. You know, they're gonna go crazy. I mean, that's like Rihanna hitting me up. Rihanna, you see me, baby. No disrespect to ASAP. I don't want no problem. But anyway, that's like that happening, you know? So during this whole time, like she was battling during that time they met, she was battling with cancer. She was battling with cancer. She had a brain tumor that was like really bad to the point where sometimes she would go in the room, cut the lights off, and just don't want to be bothered for hours because lights and noise was just like, it was just like breaking her head. It was so bad. Imagine having that tumor in your head. So she was going through a lot around this time when she met Ash Armand. So around this time, they end up going to a spiritual retreat in Zion, and he's still dating the other girl. Around this time, they go to a spiritual retreat, which is in Zion. But mind you, he's still dating Tia Evans. So she's like, I don't know about this. And he's telling her, like, nah, this is going to be just like a regular trip. This is a spiritual connection me and her have. We don't have no type of sexual things because them two were starting to really bond. She had a lot of past trauma. Ash Armand was going through a lot of stuff, so they ended up connecting. Not so-called, not sexually, just spiritually. They would talk about a lot of stuff. They would take mushrooms together. They were kind of just like trying to be on this healing path and just like wash away all the stuff that happened. But mind you, he's with Tia Evans. But anyway, so Ash Armand and this girl Helene, they end up going to a spiritual retreat in Zion, and they come back and they're like, it's amazing. They're like total new people. Her lead feels like she been washed of all her old demons and sins, and it's just like they're just thriving. Asher Mom really wants to be a healer, and these people at this resort is telling him like, you have this healing gift in you. This is you. You can actually achieve this. So he's like, he always felt that way, but hearing people that he feel like are qualified to tell him this boosted his ego in a traumatic way, in a mega way. It was just like he felt like he was a healer, like he was sent on this earth by God to be a healer. And around this time, like when he comes back, he's still doing a lot of shrooms to like have those spiritual awakenings. He's still doing steroids to compete because he still wants to compete in his life and just keep up with the younger new guys, the new hip people. So he's still doing all this. So he starts having like really bad trips. Cause mind you, this is a bad cocktail to mix. Doing one drug is already all right. Like you're already high, chill out. But when you mix it all up together, it's like a freaking tornado or hurricane of emotions and anger and drugs and feelings. So he started having really bad trips and nightmares, night shakes, sweating, going crazy, waking up in the middle of his sleep. Like it's crazy. And Tia Evans is right there to see it all. So around July 15, 2020, he texts his girl. He's like, you know what? This is over. I don't he don't want to be with her no more. And he was starting to feel like because he was on these shrooms and other stuff, that regular people around him were like demons. They were disguising themselves as demons, trying to basically trick him to go to the underworld. They were trying to act like his mother, his friends, his girlfriends. They were like, so all his friends that he had previously had and had at this moment, he felt like a lot of them were demons. Like they weren't his friends. They were demons dressed up, disguised as his friends, trying to trick him to go into the underworld. Yeah, so he was really losing it at this point. I mean, going nuts, going crazy. I feel like every relationship after Tushi Cash, because that's the start of his spiraling downfall. I feel like every relationship after Tushi Cash was just like horrible. He was always looking for her and that girl. He was always looking for the feels that he had with her and the next person. And it just ruined him as a person. It sent him on this spiral outward and down through his whole life. So around July 16th, yeah, you heard it right. July 15th, and when he got the text to his girl saying he don't want to be with her, all this stuff. July 16th, he's hanging out with Early. They're in the house. They're taking shrooms. They're having so-called good time. They're watching Avatar, and he just goes nuts, crazy, nuts, crazy, 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 crazy. He going bunkers. He ended up beating her to death. Yes, you heard me right. He beat her to death. So he said that he was on shrooms and he felt like she was a demon possessing her. It was a demon possessing her, and he had to fight her to get him off her. But mind you, this is what he says, that she was a demon. Mind you, this is a big guy. This guy is freaking. He's a big stocky guy. He's not a little boy. He's a big man. And Herlene is like a regular average sized female, but she ends up gaining some of the weight back that she lost. And her life, she kind of like spirals back to how she was before she came to Vegas. So she's not as big, but she gets bigger. She just, she's not the same when he first met her, but she's still a little chick compared to this guy. So he feels like she's a demon or whatever. So he ends up beating her bloody to death with his hands. He beats her to death. He shatters her jaw. She has multiple head traumas and body traumas. There's blood all around the apartment. So for you to beat somebody with your hands to death, I mean, that's just insane, man. I can't imagine the pain and the trauma that female went through, bro. Like, that's insane, man. Almost like how Diddy did Cassie, bro. It's wow. So anyway, after he beats her, he makes a 911 call saying how he was on drugs, he was on shrooms, they did this, that, a third. So the police come in there.
911 emergency. Do you need police, fire, or medical?
I need police. Yeah, and also an ambulance.
Okay, all right. Can you tell me what's going on there?
Okay, I forgot what to say. Okay, so it's gonna sound just insane, because it is insane.
This is a cardiac arrest of a 30-year-old female who supposedly did mushrooms or whatever with a boyfriend, husband, or whatever. They're just keep going. We got here. He pretty much admitted to me that he did it. Right inside. He's got tattoos all over the mushroom. Okay.
They end up arresting him, but the cops go inside the house to start doing their investigation, and something is really off. Something is really weird in here. So they see, so mind you, he said he was on shrooms, he was high, he was hallucinating, he thought she was a demon. But they seen bloody clothes in the washing machine, like he was trying to wash the clothes. They see cleaning products and towels and washcloths and blood marks, like he was washing his hands, trying to get all the blood off him and wiping it down in certain places. So if you're hallucinating and you kill somebody because you think she's a demon, why would you try to wash your clothes and her clothes? Why would you try to clean the blood up off the apartment and wash all the blood off yourself?
Department detectives observed a packed suitcase covered with candle wax on the victim's hair and body. Detectives observed blood inside the washing machine. Detectives also found watered down or diluted blood in the bathroom. So at some point, he attempted to clean up this mess. And then a moment later on, where he decides to call the police and then turns.
If you thought she was a demon, I mean, if somebody really thought somebody was a demon or somebody's out to get them, you're gonna fight them off you, boom, 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 and run out that house, try to get as far away from that place as possible, not beat them to death, and then try to clean up the crime scene. So it's not really adding up in my per se and the cops per se too, because he ends up getting arrested. He gets arrested. He doesn't go to trial. He pleads guilty. He gets 8 to 20 years in jail. This is like a roller coaster story of influencers really committing murder. I mean, this guy had it all, man. He had it all. Even though he was on a decline in his life, he could have revamped all that stuff, man. The drugs, the liquor, the limelight, the steroids, him hallucinating, ruined this guy, man. It's crazy, bro. All right, guys, that's all we have for today. Ash, keep your head up. Don't drop the soap. And it's P. Kimi, keep it real. You know I always try to keep it real. Like, share, and subscribe, man. It really helps the channel. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me today. Let me know how you feel about this story in the comments. To me, this was nuts. The guy had it all and lost it. Influencers that murder. Damn.